Just when I get to relax, I get dragged into another mess.
Yuri, fate really is out to get you.
Hey, it's not all my fault. You had a role in this too.
But I never ran into gigantic monsters or got arrested by knights before I met you.
Well, things didn't go bad for me until I left the capital with Estelle.
So that means...
Drop it. Keep moving.
Right.
That huge flying monster actually talked, right? You ever heard of a monster like that?
I've never seen or heard of anything like that. I don't think anybody in the Hunting Blades has.
Man, first that thing in Karabakram and now this. The world's just full of surprises. I don't care how many lives you have. It wouldn't be enough to fight that thing.
Yeah. Not even I feel like taking on a monster like that.
How would you punish villains that the law can't touch? Flynn would have had a different answer, I'll bet. But who knows how many people are hurting because they're waiting for change that never comes. That's the answer I chose. I know. I made up my mind and did what I did. I won't ignore my past. I'll probably have to talk with them about it sometime too.
Yuri, I was a little surprised to hear that you're starting a guild.
Well, it's not like I'll be doing it all on my own.
Did Carol give you the idea?
Yeah, but I've been thinking about it myself for a while now too. I quit the Knights to find my own way of doing things. But I hadn't done anything.
What Flynn said to you back in the port town, that got to you, didn't it?
Nothing that guy says could get to me.
He doesn't like to admit his feelings, does he? No.
Hey, you mind if I ask a question? I need to be sure of something.
What is it?
That big monster we saw? It was talking, right? Like our language.
Yes, I heard it with my own ears.
You all heard it too? I guess it wasn't my imagination after all.
Who's ever heard of a monster that speaks a human language?
Just what is that monster? The bridge collapsed from the monster's attack. I wonder if Dongrest is all right. It seems that some people were injured too.
The place was crawling with knights. I think they can handle things from here. Plus the Dons in Dongrest and all the guild members are really tough.
Flynn would catch us if we went back now, and that'd be the end of your travels.
You're right. I'll put my trust in the Imperial Knights and the guilds. I decided I'm going with you, and that's what I'm gonna do.
That moving fortress that attacked that monster was amazing! What'd you call it? Heracles?
That was a monster itself. I never knew the Imperial Knights had anything like that.
I don't know many details, but it seems it was constructed under Alexei's orders.
Without Heracles, we might all be in that flying monster's stomach about now.
Seriously, Heracles to the rescue! We picked a name, made laws, got our first job. We're a pretty respectable guild now.
But are 3 members really respectable?
Why not? The Dark Wings, the famous Thieves Guild, they only have 3 members too.
Quality over quantity.
Too many people get to be a headache. I prefer a small group. But you can't follow in the Don's footsteps and defend Dongrest without a few more bodies.
Yeah, I guess. But if we just put one foot in front of the other, I know we'll be big someday.
So then you're saying we can take it easy?
No way! We gotta give this guild 110%!
Aye, aye, Captain.
Now that we have a goal and a destination, I'm so excited about continuing our journey.
This is a lot bigger than when we were just escaping the capital and chasing after Flynn. We're out to find a mysterious talking monster.
And to get over to Desier, we'll need to cross the sea again. I think the sands of Kogor will be a hot and harsh environment, too. Still, I can't help but be excited that I get to continue my journey. New landscapes we've never seen are waiting for us just past the horizon.
Well, just don't forget what we're out here for.
I know. Rapide's an honorary member of Brave Vesperia too, isn't he?
Of course he is.
But everyone who joins the guild has to swear to uphold its laws, don't they?
Well, in his case...
What are you all worried about? Rapide knows the laws.
There've been lots of times when I just know Rapide understands what we're saying.
I know how you feel.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, how about it, Rapide?
He just went to mark his territory.
Hey, wouldn't Judith be the best person to seduce the guard?
You too, Carol? Huh. I can seduce people just fine.
You're cute when you're frustrated.
I get the feeling even her personality's changing.
You travel this big old world long enough, and anybody'd change.
Don't blow it out of proportion. It's just seduction.
Maybe to you, Judith, but to our dear princess, it's one of the toughest things she's ever done.
I will seduce that guard. Just you wait.
With Judith seducing the guard, this plan can't fail.
I'll do my best to live up to your expectations, Carol.
What can I do to be like Judith?
Did you say something, Estelle?
Oh, no, just talking to myself.
Hey, there's still time, you guys. How about someone else seduce the guard?
When a man makes up his mind, he's got to see it through to the end.
And this is a guild job as well. Don't forget, all for the guild.
Oh, that is so twisting the guild's laws.
Carol, you'll be fine. You'll be the cutest little thing that knight has ever seen.
Being the cutest anything has never been one of my life goals.
You know, in knight's armor, you really do look like a knight, Yuri. You're quite handsome.
You're getting a compliment, you know. It wouldn't hurt to smile.
I'm not really crazy about this getup. I've got bad memories of Flynn laughing his head off about how silly I looked in this.
Well, I think I get how Flynn felt. It's like somebody dressed you up.
No, not at all, Yuri. It's good because it's so different from who you are.
Leave it to Yuri to be different, even in a normal suit of armor.
This is why I hate this uniform.
I'm impressed that you passed for a real knight, Carol, despite your height.
It's amazing, especially considering he wasn't wearing the full suit of armor.
That knight must have been so panicked that he didn't see anything besides your helmet.
People usually notice things like that, though, right?
Then why'd you put me up to this in the first place?
What's with you? First you're panicked, now you're laughing.
You're pretty moody yourself, Rita.
You're not really one to talk, Carol.
Just shut up.
I'm so glad we found you here. I mean, I gave up going back to the capital, so even if you had visited me, I wouldn't have been there.
Oh, how sweet, Rita. You were gonna go visit Estelle.
I wouldn't go to the capital just to visit someone. I mean, I have to report my findings on the air crane. I just thought I'd say hi or something.
I don't know. That sounds like an excuse for a visit with Estelle to me.
You stay out of this.
Oh, come on. We're all together again. Let's just be happy about that.
That man called Jaeger certainly had a unique way of talking.
Unique isn't the word I'd use.
I had a hard time understanding some of the stuff he said.
An ancient way of speaking lost in this day and age.
What? Are you serious?
It would at least make a good story if that were true.
Flynn was asking for Estelle to come back with him, right?
The knights can't help thinking that the best place for a princess is a castle. He's just worried that he won't be able to keep track of her.
But Estelle decided to set out on this journey on her own, and you want to respect that.
I haven't really thought about it all that much.
The knights are bound to keep following you, though, as long as Estelle's with you.
And what kind of a guild would we be if we didn't get into trouble with the knights?
I don't think fighting with the knights is actually a guild requirement.
Oh, those two scheming together.
What? You mean Kumor and Jaeger?
Yes. Maybe they saw that they had a lot in common with each other.
A lot in common?
Like being raving lunatics. Whatever the case, they made one hell of a combo.
Looking at those two made me feel totally normal.
Get a couple of nasty people together and they'll put together some nasty plans. We were right to let Flynn deal with it before things got really out of hand.
That settles it. Our guild is off and running.
What settles what?
Our guild's gonna be called Brave Vesperia. Estelle came up with it for us.
Brave Vesperia, huh? Don't tell me you actually got Estelle to become a member.
No. It's just the three of us for now. I'm the boss, and then there's Yuri and Judith, too. What do you think? Pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah, it's amazing. They actually let you be the boss.
We just started out and we're already working with one of the 5 master guilds. This is good.
Yeah. You're one step closer to making your dream a reality, Carol. Aren't you happy?
You talking to the kid? He's over there mumbling about something.
Merman. The first thing had to be Merman. Brave Vesperia has some bad luck. What's the president of Fortune's Market gonna think of us if we fail? This is bad. This is so bad.
I don't think he's very happy.
He's just being careful, that's all.
That's not being careful. That's running and hiding.
Do you think the others are all right?
You should probably worry a little more about how we're doing. There's no telling what might happen on a boat this sketchy.
You say that, but you sound like you're enjoying all this. Maybe that's why I don't feel all that scared myself.
Oh man, this isn't gonna be half as fun if you're not properly terrified.
Fun?
Never mind.
Hey, wait up, Yuri! We should slow down and try to keep quiet.
Yeah, but I can't walk with you right on my back, Captain.
No, it's good. I can walk fine. It's no trouble.
No, I said you make it hard for me to walk.
Right. So I said I'm not having any trouble walking.
No, listen. All right, whatever.
It looked quite sinister from the outside, but nothing interesting has happened so far.
Yeah, seriously. Looks like all my hunches were off.
Hunches?
I was kind of hoping for something, but you aren't scared at all.
Oh, so I should be saying things like, "Aw, save me, Yuri," and grabbing onto you?
It's no fun if you tell me up front you're gonna do it. Forget it.
That's too bad. It sounded like fun.
So, what possessed you to bring old Raven along?
Huh? I just figured you'd come in handy, I guess.
You know, you just ain't too bright. It's the perfect chance for some alone time with the ladies. What's the fun in having two guys here? Ah, I'm scared! Help! Never fear, kitten. Daddy's right here. That's the way these things are supposed to go down.
If we run into any trouble, I'm using you to save my own skin. Got it?
Huh? So that's how I come in handy? A decoy?
I'm worried about the others, of course, but this place is scary. Let's make this quick.
I'm pretty nervous, but I'd feel awful if anything happened to the others. We have to go save them. All right, let's do this.
They insisted on going to play on the creepy boat, so here I am stuck going after them. When I find them, oh, they're gonna wish they had died.
I'm actually kind of glad I have an excuse to explore the ghost ship. It's not every day you get a chance to have this much fun.
Oh man, what a pain. I don't want to do this. I mean, they'll come out on their own eventually, right? Whoa, what was that? Man, there's something spooky in the air around here.
What's the matter, Patty? I wanted to go with Yuri. You don't wish to go with me? You don't bother me, but I want to stick closer to Yuri than a remora. That might be a touch difficult. Oh, you could cling to repeat like a remora with little trouble. The remora part's not important. Yuri and I are madly in love.
What was that all of a sudden?
A bit of faint.
We only just met and I'm already disliked. It's saddening.
Yeah, well, a maiden's heart is a complicated knot.
You're adorable.
Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. My soul belongs to Yuri.
What a pity.
Wait up, Patty! It's dangerous to go too fast. We don't know what's lurking around here, so we have to be careful.
Is that right? In that case, I'll walk behind you, Carol.
Huh?
All right, Carol. Ramming speed!
I'm not set on being up front.
You're the only man I can rely on, Carol. Not that you hold a candle to Yuri.
Whoa, Patty! There's no need to shove.
Hey, lass. Why are you walking so far away from me?
I don't want Yuri to get the wrong idea.
What idea might that be?
Yuri and I are madly in love.
That's all well and good, but you're outside my defensive range.
I won't fall for your tricks. I know you've fallen for my charms, old man.
I can't even tell if you're jesting with me.
I've got a sixth sense for men like you.
Come on, that's enough. Quit wandering off every 5 steps.
There might be loot around.
I don't care about loot. Let's move on.
Wait a minute. Are you scared?
What would I be scared of? What was that?
The door closed by itself. That's bizarre. Let's go investigate.
Wait up! What if we get separated?
See how much better it is when we're all together?
It's times like these that give you a sense for how important cooperation really is.
Yeah, I guess. The runt said something smart for once.
Not that we've done anything all that cooperative yet.
That's all right. Just being together makes this place less frightening.
I wonder if it's really that simple. Ah! It's a four-legged hell beast!
Ah!
Oops, my bad. Must have just been the pooch's shadow.
Oh, you are so dead! I'm gonna kill you and leave you haunting the ship! It looks like the case holding the clear CL crystal just won't open. I wish we could make sure it's actually in there, considering the sort of place we found it in.
Couldn't you just bust it open with your magic?
No, I can't.
Right. If we damaged the contents, we wouldn't be able to make the delivery.
No, I mean I already tried blowing it up. This little box is tougher than it looks.
I'm at a loss for words.
Forget it, Estelle. There's not much you can say to that.
Anyway, I suppose it makes sense to put something so important in an unbreakable box.
What was that skeleton monster? It wasn't the sort of thing we regularly encounter.
It could be a creature possessed by spirits that wanders the Atherum.
That can't possibly be it. It's too unscientific.
Do you sense anything amiss, Repeat?
What'd he say?
I don't know.
Looks like we need Yuri to interpret for us. Hey, Yuri!
Hold on. There's no need to investigate this right now, is there?
Should we have finished it off when we had the chance?
Just what sort of person is this Bellius exactly?
Well, that's just it. I've heard the name often enough, but I've never met the person.
Carol, do you know?
I've only lived in Dawngress, so I don't really know the guilds in Nordopolica.
The last thing we need is another Dawn on our hands.
You can say that again. One Don is plenty.
I can hardly wait to meet Bellius now.
Is Patty all right? She's tough. She'll pop back up soon enough.
Do you think Patty's really Ifried's granddaughter?
Even if she is, that treatment is inexcusable. Patty has done nothing wrong.
Regardless of the guild's trust, it's not unusual that Patty would bear the brunt of the anger. Ifried isn't around to take it after all.
But that's still no excuse to blame Patty.
True.
Patty, you mustn't get used to all of this.
Damn that Reggae.
What could he possibly want with that case?
Well, our genius mage's magic was kind of weird. He must have thought it was linked to that box.
Then you think Reggae knows what's in the box?
The only way we'll find out is by going after him.
If he stole it knowing what was inside, then he must know what the clear CL crystal can do.
If we catch him, we might learn something about Jormgen.
Okay, now we definitely can't let him get away.
Yes, we don't have a moment to lose.
And here I thought all we'd be doing at the Colosseum was beating bad guys. Now things have gone and gotten complicated.
I certainly didn't think we'd be seeing Flynn here.
Not to mention that Zoggy guy.
And that runaway coward Reggae, too. It can't be a coincidence, not with them all here at once.
If it is a coincidence, it's the worst one I've ever heard of. Just how bad can our luck be?
You think Leviathan's Claw are the ones calling the shots this time?
Thinking things through is all well and good, but we don't want Reggae skipping out on us.
No kidding. We'll finish talking later. Let's go.
I had thought that amnesia was only in stories.
It happens all the time. Get caught up in an explosion during a failed Blastia experiment, and there go all your memories. But losing all of your memories is pretty rare.
It's a tragedy. That it is.
Well, even if your past memories are gone, you can start creating new memories from now on. There's no need to be pessimistic.
I see. That's a different point of view. I'll stuff my mind's album with memories of Yuri. Yuri and more Yuri!
Just thinking of it makes me shiver.
I hope there might be a little room for me in there. I think we can squeeze you into a corner somewhere.
Monster that consumes air?
Just what was that creature?
It did seem different from other monsters somehow.
Yeah, that's for sure. It also looked like it was staring at us.
Maybe it was wondering which of us to eat first.
It looked into my eyes for quite a long time, actually.
How nice for you. He must have thought you looked the tastiest.
I don't think I'd call that nice.
I never would have guessed there would be an air crane in the Wheezin of Kados.
Me neither.
I guess nobody passing through ever noticed it.
It must not have been putting out enough air until now for anyone to feel the effects.
Sounds right.
It sure picked the perfect time to start going crazy. That was a serious pain.
Well, I was able to log a new discovery, so it worked out in the end.
Yeah, so glad you enjoyed yourself.
So, someone has one of those air cranae you found?
Rita, you explain.
I'm all ears. I've been participating in the conversation, right?
I'm still trying to get my head around the fact that Reggae was Jaeger's alter ego.
This spells out the connection between Ruin's Gate and Leviathan's Claw pretty clearly, and that Jaeger was the boss of both guilds.
Isn't it kind of early to say that for sure? It is possible that the Reggae we met was just Jaeger putting on a show. Maybe the real Reggae's off in some ruins someplace, just digging away, happy as a clam.
We're gonna have a hell of a time if it's really that complicated.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just puzzling over it a little too hard.
We'll have to keep at it until we get to the bottom of this mess. I wouldn't think the Knights would bother coming all the way out to a border town like this. More power to them if they're really here to defend the public order, or whatever, but something tells me there's more to it than that.
This town's only on the edge of the desert, but the heat still got my head spinning.
Youngsters these days got no stamina, I tell you.
Whoa! No comeback from Rita.
It's hot. It's so hot.
I think she's so hot she didn't even hear him.
We keep going and going, but all we get is more sand and more blue sky.
You're doing better than me if you can look at the sky, Raven. The only thing I see is sand.
How come an old fart like you has so much energy anyway?
Talking's only gonna wear you out. If one of us goes down, it'd be about all we could manage to get them back to safety. And I, for one, am in no mood to be giving out piggyback rides.
If I collapse, Raven, you can carry me.
Sorry, but this back's reserved for ladies only.
I'll die before I collapse.
I won't let myself be a burden either.
The same goes for me, of course.
Hey, there's no reason to go stomping on an old man's feelings, is there?
Avast, Repeat! Stop pulling at my clothes like that!
Patty, watch your step. It's dangerous.
Whoa! That was a close call. Repeat, you were only warning me.
Repeat seems to like Patty. Why is that?
He just likes kids.
He wants youth and vim, not gray and stolid.
So my age has been the problem.
Wait, Patty is certainly young, but that's not everything, right?
I have a feeling there's a treasure hiding in this desert.
Hey, you'll get lost if you roam off.
I have the scent of treasure.
What sort of treasure can you sniff out that Repeat can't, Patty?
It's not my nose, it's my intuition. I know where treasures likes to hole up.
Traveling a desert because of intuition is dangerous.
My senses have never failed me yet.
Well, if that's true, we could all be rich.
Remember, greed'll kill you faster than anything.
Didn't think I'd hear that coming from you.
Here, Repeat. Have a skewer.
That looks quite tasty.
Boiled eggs are the best part.
Nonsense. Daikon is the centerpiece, Patty. Daikon.
Hold up now.
That's unexpected. Usually you're happy with anything you can chew through, Rita.
That's just how good skewers are. But both Rita and the old man are wrong.
Where are they mistaken?
The true star of skewers is fish cakes. Especially the white ones.
Fish cakes, is it? And Repeat agrees. Well, I don't mind as long as it's tasty.
Alf and Layla's parents don't seem to be anywhere.
And with the desert as brutal as all this, odds are they're not holding up too well.
Thanks, old man. This hot-as-hell desert was missing a looming sense of dread.
How could Kimura just abandon people out here because they got on his nerves?
Seriously, let's hurry up and find those kids' parents while we still have some strength left.
Right.
What was the deal with that weird monster we ran into in the sands of Kogor?
Just the thought of it still sends chills down my spine.
Was that thing even alive?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, it wasn't anything like other creatures that make their home in the desert.
Huh. Another astute observation from Captain Carroll.
Whatever it was, I hope we never see it again.
Me too.
So after all we went through to cross the desert, we can't meet Pharaoh.
And after you've all risked your lives to help me.
Maybe it's better that we didn't find him after all.
Yeah, if we had to fight him now, we probably wouldn't make it out.
Think about it though, Pharaoh can fly. He's free to be pretty much anywhere at any time. Tracking him down will be a tall order unless he's got a lair somewhere in the area.
No one's saying that meeting him will be impossible.
We might get some information if we ask around in the town.
You're right. Thank you, both of you.
This town's weird. It's in the middle of the desert, but look at all the plants.
It sort of reminds me of Mantake.
Yeah, but there is something different.
Really?
There may be more here than meets the eye. Maybe the truth is hidden away.
Leave it to Judith to put things into perspective.
The better the intuition, the more you see.
Hey,
I have intuition.
Can a clear CL crystal really be used to make a barrier?
If they could, and we had enough, we'd be able to make as many barriers as we wanted.
Then even areas that suffer frequent monster attacks could be assured safety.
Yeah, but if it were possible, wouldn't something like that have happened by now?
Maybe it's best not to get our hopes up about it then.
Ever the realist, I see.
All I'm doing is speculating on the most probable outcome.
Actually, I think that's what being a realist means. Duke certainly has an air of mystery about him.
He's a real man.
Patty prefers masculine fellas, I see.
I thought he was pretty cold. Would it have killed him to listen to us a little?
Maybe he was caught off guard. We did just kind of show up out of nowhere.
Did one of us say anything rude to him?
Probably you, Rita. Ha! Ow! Ow! Hey, no hitting!
I wonder if he's always lived here in Jormungand.
Who knows? I didn't get the feeling he'd been here all that long, though.
Duke is pretty weird, but this whole town is pretty weird too.
It is weird, but you could live a quiet, comfortable life here.
Using your power to terrorize people. There's not a soul in the lower quarter that evil. You've gone too far this time, Cumore.
We made it out of the desert without getting lost.
We didn't bump into that strange monster either. The traps in the desert had to be that creature's doing.
I've never heard of a monster with that sort of ability.
As I recall, when the creature vanished, a feather fell from the sky.
A pharaoh's feather?
Do you think there might be some connection? Perhaps it was a talisman to keep us on the right path.
The feather was there. Getting lost could be related to the pharaoh after all.
Things are bound to improve here in Mantake, now that Flynn's liberated the town.
They did allow the ringleader to escape, though.
Cumore? Flynn will catch him in no time, right, Yuri?
Oh yeah, sure he will.
Is something wrong? He looked troubled.
Estelle's not her usual perky self either.
That's not true. I'm as happy as you all are that Mantake's been freed.
If you say so.
Your friend is quite talented, considering the ease with which he saved Mantake.
Who, Flynn? That was nothing for him.
You know him really well, don't you, Yuri?
Well, we've hung around together since we were kids.
You don't hang around together much anymore, though.
Yuri? Only the Empire has enough power to cut off all the ways in and out of a whole town.
Well, the Guild's power is totally different. The Union would never try something like this.
It's the Empire's style, crush problems with everything they've got. What are they after? Who do they think they are, sealing off all the roads like this?
I think the answer to that lies in Nordopolica. We should hurry before we're caught.
So what was that deal you were talking about?
A deal? What sort of deal? With who?
You said something about a deal with the old man when we were in Kados.
Don't
tell me you forgot.
No. I haven't forgotten.
She forgot. So it's a secret, is it?
I'll tell you, Yuri, since I can trust you.
I appreciate it.
If he works hard here, I'll teach him Judy's measurements.
You really know how his mind works, don't you?
It's not exactly a mystery.
What's up? Shouldn't we be hurrying along?
Hey, you're not as young as you used to be. Let's take it easy.
Seconded.
Well, what do you mean?
If the air Krene was disturbed by...
Did you figure anything out?
It's still too early to say. I've got some leads, but it's nothing I can be sure of yet.
Well, make sure and let us know when you've nailed it down.
I will.
All right, let's head out.
And it'll probably involve you.
Who do they think they are? What a bunch of total clods!
I thought the knights were the ones who had business in Nordopolica.
I never would have guessed we'd end up running into the hunting blades.
What are they all doing here?
Don't know exactly, but you can be sure it's got to do with Bellius.
Could it be that the knights, Flynn, came because of Bellius as well?
We'll have to ask the Duce. For now, though, we gotta see if we can get things under control.
Bellius, how could something like this happen?
There was still so much we needed to ask.
Yeah. Think of all the knowledge that only an Entelakea would have.
Not to mention her perspective as the Duce of Palestrale. Why couldn't we have met her sooner?
Yuri...
I knew Judy's secret would get out someday, but not like this. A little heads up would have been nice. I don't know what to think about anything anymore. I was okay with taking out bad people on my own, but I couldn't tell the others. Not before with Estelle, and not now. I gotta face up to the choices I've made. It's been weighing on Carol, too. Who knows what'll happen to brave Vesperia? The town's quiet now, but it could get ugly quick.
Yeah, well, we've seen our fair share of ugliness.
Not like this, we haven't. Do you think Palestrale is just gonna take Bellius' death lying down?
The Don's grandson is wrapped up in this too. I guess they can't just let things slide. The guilds sure make a big deal about their rules and settling their scores.
Exactly.
What a pain. I don't get it at all.
We're kinda caught up in this ourselves, you know. Just be ready if things go bad.
I know.
What sort of fellow is this Don?
He's an old man that's just larger than life.
In that case, I'm sure meeting him will provide a clue to the riddle of Ifried. Don Whitehorse.
Huh?
Did you say his last name was Whitehorse?
Oh, well, you just said it yourself, right?
Huh?
If the Don really did go meet with Jaeger, what could the reason have been? And why would he go alone?
It's not to deepen the ties of their friendship, that's for sure. It was probably because he didn't want his subordinates to get wrapped up in the mess.
Well, that's just one more example of how much the guilds love doing things the hard way. Upholding every rule, settling every score. Is it all really that important?
Hey, if we're going after the Don, now's the time. We can have special sharing time later. I never would have guessed we'd have to chase down the Don and then go make Judith talk. It looks like the hunting blades are on the move too.
I want to know how Leviathan's Claw managed to get that information. I'm sure there's something they're after.
Judith.
I know you're worried, but let's just deal with what's right in front of us for now.
Right. Let's look for the Don.
I'm the spitting image of Ifried. Not the picture I had in my head.
Indeed. I thought he'd be an imposing figure like Don.
I'm all muddled. I need to ask Don for more details.
Now my hands have killed someone I never wanted to kill. Dawn, that feeling still hasn't left my hands. You really were a piece of work, old man.
Our swords for freedom, our shield for friendship, our lives for the common good.
The Union Oath, huh?
Do you suppose Ifried lived according to those words? Or did the wind blow differently?
Well, the fact that Ifried's signature is on the oath is no simple twist of fortune.
Well, we'll just have to take up the oath for Dawn and Ifried then, won't we?
Well, Don, looks like the youth have picked up the torch you and Ifried once carried.
Don Whitehorse was a real man, wasn't he?
Aye, and I'm sure you felt the weight of that in your blade as his second. I'm sorry I made you shoulder that burden.
It's all right.
Unbelievable. Why would he accept that role?
Do you think Yuri is really all right?
He's not all right, but I imagine he'll be able to sort it out in his own mind. That lad's got real resolve.
Resolve? Do you mean like with Rago and Cumore?
Aye. Once he's made up his mind and taken up a task, he'll see it done no matter how heavy it is. It's an exhausting path, one this old man could never take.
You aren't alone in that.
All folks like us can do is keep an eye on the lad as he does what he needs to.
Man, the Great War. I mean, leaving a gaping hole where a mountain used to be.
I still can't believe how much power the Entelekea must have had.
How could the humans fight beings that powerful and not get demolished? I just don't get it.
Indeed. The Great War may still hold secrets we haven't uncovered yet.
And I'll bet those secrets are hidden somewhere in this mountain.
Yeah, but the war's over now. It can't have anything to do with us, right?
I hope so, but... The hunting blades again?
We didn't just cross paths this time. We're after the same thing. We just might have to fight.
If it does come to that, you guys don't have to worry about me. But we can't keep Judith waiting. Let's go!
Carol,
Our boy's growing up.
Yeah,
isn't there some way we can avoid fighting the hunting blades?
I hope so. But it's pretty much up to them.
Yup.
I heard stories of a Cridian town, but I never knew where it was.
Me too. Didn't expect it to be on Mount Temza.
They must really value their privacy to build a whole town on a mountain.
Is there something they don't like doing in front of other folk?
Cridians are a secretive lot, to be sure.
We still haven't heard Judy's side, so we can't say anything, but... She sure caused the guild a major headache, breaking Blastias all on our own. There's no getting around that fact, no matter what her reasons. We have to settle this. Man, I hate waiting.
Judith, you're familiar with Pharaoh, aren't you?
Is he really as scary as he seems?
Well, let's see. Sometimes he's logical, sometimes he's emotional. He can be really scary or really kind.
All right, that didn't help very much.
One thing's certain, his power is extraordinary, even among the Entelekea.
Here's hoping we don't wind up looking like poor old Mount Temza the moment we meet him.
If he can do that to a mountain, there wouldn't be anything left if he turned on us.
I wish you wouldn't joke about scary things like that.
Why should we get scared before we even get there? Especially if he's that strong.
Wish I could take it as lightly as you and Yuri.
I never imagined you'd be able to speak with the Entelekea.
Well, I use a Critian technique to do it. Wait, do I detect a little jealousy?
Maybe. Right, Rapide?
Yuri, you want to talk to Rapide?
I think the two of you understand each other well enough already.
I got him pretty well figured out, but I don't know if he understands me.
I think he feels the same way.
Pharaoh, Belius, Baul? What sort of beings are Entelekea anyway?
They are the oldest intelligent life forms on Tercalumares.
So, they aren't monsters?
They aren't. It's said that they have a higher level of awareness than humans, though they don't have a civilization.
Shiver me timbers! The Entelekea were smart!
The reports we get from Baul are pretty accurate.
He's a smart boy.
All that stuff about the balance of the world is pretty hard to take in.
Yeah. I hadn't even been outside the capital until just a while ago myself. And now we're here talking about the fate of the world. You never know what life will bring you.
But isn't that what makes it interesting?
I don't think we can afford to be that relaxed anymore. Estelle doesn't have much time left.
What's the harm? It's not as if acting all serious is gonna solve anything.
Besides, Estelle will notice if we look all worried.
Well, maybe so, but...
We won't forget what Pharaoh said. Relax.
I know, it's just...
Estelle's got it the worst. If we get too down about this, we won't be much help to her. Carol, were you thinking by yourself this whole time about what to do with Judy?
Yeah, it was pretty much all I thought about after we left Nordopolica. That, and about what you did to Rago and Cumor.
Really? It's nice to hear you thought about me that much, even when I wasn't around.
Yeah, I wasn't sure at first. What was right, what was wrong. I think I have the Dawn to thank for setting me straight. Without the Dawn's last words, I never would have found answers to the questions I had.
You gotta stand on your own 2 feet.
Yeah, I was thinking about what that meant. And before I knew it, I wasn't thinking about what was right. I was thinking about what I want to do.
And that helped you decide what to do with the guild.
Yeah, so here's to fresh starts.
Yeah.
To fresh starts.
That wasn't bad, Carol.
I have to say, I really didn't expect to hear that again. Come to think of it, Judy doesn't ask about that at all.
Oh, should I?
Would it be a problem? Well, even if you don't ask, the answer is still clear to you.
I'm not sure about that. Even so, you're still you and I'm still me. If our paths are the same, I'll travel with you. If I didn't think they were, I wouldn't be here.
So everything is clear to you, see?
I'm pretty sure what I'm thinking is clear to you as well.
Is it something like people who choose the same path think alike?
Do you think Patty is all right?
No memories, no knowledge of what the geezer did, forced to face reality. It'd discourage anyone.
She looks so miserable. What can I possibly say to help her?
It's best to leave her alone for now.
Rapide. What's troubling you, Rapide? Rapide. The thing is,
A pooch is the best companion at times like these.
I hope that she can find some measure of peace this way.
Patty, do you need to take a break?
Don't worry about me. I just need to sort things out in my head a little. If I stay still, I'll just end up sailing in circles. Listening to your silly prattling is a nice distraction.
Silly prattling.
Hey, where are you going?
Oh, those plants are awfully pretty, so I was walking to avoid them. Come this way, Rita.
You need to let some stuff go. You'll never move forward if you can't do that.
Please, let's go this way. Come on.
Oh, was that a chuckle? I see. Silly prattling.
Who are you calling silly?
Wait, you don't understand. Ouch! Now I'm being snickered at. So, is Miorzo here?
I wonder.
I get the feeling it won't be easy to find.
Nobody we talked to had even heard of a town called Miorzo.
You'd expect to see more activity in this place if anybody knew there was a town here.
The difficulty of the road might be responsible for that, though.
Man, why'd the Critians have to go and build a town in a place like this anyway?
Probably to avoid a lot of prying eyes.
We're just gonna have to check it out for ourselves to make sure then.
Stay close behind me, Estelle. My magic will protect you if they attack with a Hoplon Blastia.
But you'd be putting yourself in danger, Rita.
We're all in danger, so relax. Or maybe you don't believe I can do it.
No, I'm just worried about you.
Well, I'm worried about you.
Those two sure have come a long way.
Their little fights were fun, though. Oh well, I guess this way's healthier for everyone.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hey, Peanut Gallery! Shut up, or we'll leave you behind.
She's still got a couple of rough spots to work on, though.
You used to live in Miorzo, Judy?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
What sort of kid were you?
A little shy and overindulged, maybe?
A little shy.
That's hard to picture.
It is beyond imagining, isn't it?
Everyone told me I was a strange child.
Yes, I can see that. A child being called strange by strange people.
She must have been Judy-like since she was little.
I'd like to ask you all exactly what that means to each of you.
The Critians are different than I imagined.
Oh man, I totally agree.
What's so different?
You know, more like... I thought they'd be more like you, Judith.
Yeah, I'm seeing far less skin than I expected. I mean, come on!
So that's what the two of you were looking forward to?
How juvenile.
What are you looking at me for? I was talking about her personality.
Seriously, let's have some decency here.
Is it me, or are you a little disappointed too, Yuri?
I'd like to ask the same thing, Yuri.
It's you.
Ah, man.
Everything the Elder said is true, isn't it?
His interpretation of the murals might not be perfect, but with all he told us, it was very convincing.
We knew this was a global problem once we talked to Pharaoh. He granted us time because he knew how we would react when we saw this.
He probably wanted to show us humanity ain't cut out to handle the situation.
And to make us give up on Estelle.
So everything's just going according to Pharaoh's plan, then? I will not let that happen. Never. I won't give up on her. I never should have left Estelle alone. Maybe I couldn't have done anything, But I should have stayed with her. She was so depressed.
You're not responsible for this. Beating yourself up over it won't bring her back.
I know.
And what happened to Raven?
He was acting a little strange.
Do you think they're working together?
I really doubt they'd both disappear at the same time.
But why just the two of them?
Don't make me start questioning your loyalties, Raven.
Just who does that idiot commandant think he is?
Barbos, Rigaud, even Jaeger. Alexei was behind all of them.
And now he's taken Estelle.
I won't let him do this!
I am gonna rip him to shreds the moment we get Estelle away from him!
He must receive his due punishment. We can't let him get away.
Treating Lady Estellise in that manner. Alexei is no longer the man I trusted.
He's evil. That's all there is to it. And he will not change. It's time for some payback.
So the Duke's friend helped us when we fell into the sands of Kagor.
You mean the monster we ran into in Kados?
Not a monster, an Entelekea. It must have altered the air at the Wiesent of Kados.
I think I saw it before I passed out in the desert.
Do you think that Entelekea is friendly to humans?
It's the same as Baul and Belius. Entelekea can use language, so we can befriend them.
Right.
It looks like the battle against you is over, Flynn.
So when did you become aware of Alexei's rebellion?
I've held doubts about the Commandant's orders for a while. After Yuri warned me in Nordopolica, I reconsidered previous events in a new light.
And you understood Alexei was pulling the strings in the incidents with Barbos, Rigaud, and Hugh Moore.
When I heard Lady Estellise was being held, I was certain. I only wish I had realized sooner.
Even so, you unraveled his plot on your own. We still have time. We'll get Estelle back.
Right. Patty, isn't it? Will you aid us in our mission to rescue Lady Estellise?
Do you even need to ask? We'll put an end to Alexei's schemes.
If we don't go after Alexei, that Entelekea we saw is gonna wind up in Apatheia.
Even from this far away, Estall's wounds look terrible. He might not hold out much longer.
I guess not even the Entelekea are a match for Heracles.
Maybe that was Alexei's reason for building it in the first place.
Naturally. There's no way he'd need something that powerful just to take care of the guilds.
Whatever the case, we have to catch Alexei and stop him before it's too late for Estelle.
How much does Alexei know about the Apatheia?
I only heard that a terrible power dwells within them. If the Union gains possession of them, the guilds will be able to resist the Empire in actual war. That's why the Knights were sent to gather and watch over them.
To the point of kidnapping Estelle and bringing out Hermes Blastia?
Alexei has wicked plans for the Apatheia.
But what exactly are those plans?
Alexei is still after the Entelekea Estelle.
Estelle is the Entelekea from before.
Anyway, let's just rescue Estelle, grab the bad guy, and then make him talk.
Right. We should hurry.
You never did give me an explanation. What were you thinking about when you sealed off Nordopolica and the Wiesent of Kados?
I was following Alexei's orders.
And was using trained monsters his order too?
Likely so. But being unaware of the nature of my subordinates was my error. I'm not fit for command.
At least you understand your mistake.
I swear that I will correct that mistake.
You still look troubled to me. Alexei is rotten to the very core. Trusting him is pure folly.
I understand that. His actions cannot be forgiven. But...
No buts about it. This is no time for doubt. You can see Alexei clearly now, Flynn.
You're right. You're more mature than I'd thought.
Am I? First time I've ever heard that.
I need to be steady myself, too.
Aye. Plant your feet on the deck and bring down Alexei.
Right. If only I had been near Lady Estellise so that I could defend her.
That wasn't in the cards. She chose to travel with us.
I guess you're right.
I'll take the heat for this.
That's not what I meant. I'm in no position to blame you.
And your position is just fine.
Maybe so.
Is it just me? Or is it harder to breathe here than on the sea floor?
No. There's something going on between Yuri and Flynn.
Dane Nomos, the child of the full moon, the resolve that impressed Pharaoh? Just who the hell is this Duke guy?
Well, judging from what he says, it seems he's in contact with Pharaoh.
And he has the sword Prince Yoder's been looking for. I don't like this.
Yeah, but why would he just lend us something as important as De Nomos? I thought he was stubborn, but maybe he's actually willing to listen to reason.
I wouldn't get my hopes up about that.
We just have to do what we can for now.
Yeah, let's hurry.
I'll save Estelle next time. I swear it. I couldn't stand seeing her hurt more than she already has been.
Rita.
It's Estelle who's suffering. So then why do I hurt so much too?
We'll get her next time.
Yeah, we'll save her. I've had enough of seeing her used as Alexei's puppet.
I can't believe Raven was an Imperial Knight. A captain.
Captain Schwan.
And his body. I guess I didn't know a single thing about him. But he still protected us.
He'd be happy to know you were thinking that. And that's all the more reason we can't turn back now.
Right. He risked his life so we could see this through to the end.
Yeah.
Let's do it! Let's save Estelle!
Yes.
Oh, even you're worried, Rapide. I finally accepted what happened in the grave at that cavern, but I'm still not quite sure what I should do from here.
I don't know what you need to do, but it's always better to look before you leap.
Oh, were you listening in, Rita?
Asking the advice of a dog isn't gonna help either.
It doesn't bring me closer to a decision, but it makes me feel a little better. Why not try it yourself, Rita?
Maybe another time.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. Cypher. Why would he...
First, Alexei lost Flynn. Now he lost you too, Raven. That's gotta hurt the strength of his precious knights.
I don't know. He's still got his own personal royal guard with him, you know. Those guys are fiercely loyal to him. They'll never betray him.
You mean they still trust him? What could they possibly see in that piece of crap?
Well, Alexei wasn't a piece of crap when he got his start.
Huh?
It was his responsibility to bring peace to the world. That's a heavy load for anyone.
That's enough. The less I know about him, the easier I'll cut him.
Now that's the Yuri I know.
I swear, if you're alive, hurry up and tell us.
That's right. We'll make you pay for how you made us feel.
What's that? Did you and Rita both cry over little old me?
Like I would ever.
Who's gonna cry over you? That's where it may be.
Hey, don't look at me! I wasn't crying.
Not a single tear shed for the old man. I'm simply crushed.
Anyway, we are glad that you're safe, Master Raven.
Flynn, that title isn't natural. Why so formal all of a sudden?
I know it's not normal, but now that I know he's Captain Schwan, calling him Raven just doesn't seem right anymore.
Who cares about a title? Being a knight sounds like a real pain.
Well, you're not wrong there, Patty. Anyway, Schwan's buried in the depths of Bactian, ain't he? The guy standing in front of you is Raven. Just a simple old man.
Understood. I shall endeavor to keep that fact in mind.
Raven and Flynn are both captains of the Knights, but you still don't know much about the Heracles.
That's because Alexei ordered it to be built in absolute secrecy. Not many folks of that rank know about that sort of construction work.
A lot of people must have known about the Heracles because of what happened in Dongrest. The people involved in the building itself were a handful of extremely skilled workers.
That would explain how they put the thing together so fast.
But why would they need to hide it? I mean, they had enough power to chase off Pharaoh at Dongrest.
Perhaps it wasn't intended for use by the Knights. It may have been built for Alexei's plan from the very beginning.
All that for his personal use? That's some serious abuse of authority.
In any case, we have things to do before we can start worrying about that,
Right.
So, what do you think about Yuri, Flynn?
He's a true friend.
Even now?
Absolutely.
I see.
Is there something you want to ask?
Nah, that's enough. Sorry to trouble you.
He's really something. He points out Yuri's mistakes, but still calls him a friend.
I guess maybe they're birds of a feather.
Ah, that does make sense. Flynn is Yuri's friend after all.
Whoa.
Watch out, Raven!
Whew. That was a close one. Thank you kindly, Carol.
Stop dancing around like that. You gotta walk carefully in a place like this.
Is Raven always like that?
Yeah, I'd say he's always like that. Why do you ask?
Well, there's the old man as Raven, and the old man as Captain Schwan. I just wonder which is the real one. That's all.
I'm sure that his actions as Schwan left a much bigger impression on you.
Anyway, you really didn't know that Raven was Schwan this whole time?
I sensed something odd when we first met, but I couldn't equate his personality as Raven with that of Captain Schwan's.
He seemed like a goof-off, you mean?
Who are you calling a goof-off? Kids these days. Whispering nonsense behind an old man's back.
Well, Raven or Schwan, he's still an old man. It's not anything to get worked up over.
Perhaps so.
It's not my place to comment on your friendships, but
What is it, Judy?
I think it'd be a good idea if you cut your ties with this Soggy character.
I've been hacking away at them since we first met, believe me.
Where'd you run into such a unique individual? He seems to be a pretty stubborn fan.
I have to hear how this romance began.
In the castle, right before I left the capital behind. Flynn was supposedly his original target, but before I knew it, he got sort of fixated on me.
It can't be easy having such a crazy admirer.
Tell me about it. That's the kind of love I can do without.
What's Jaeger thinking? It's almost like he's trying to help us.
Well, he said himself that he didn't want the Empire becoming too powerful.
Then maybe it's safe to take him at his word. He lays that whole nut job act on pretty thick, but he is in the business of selling weapons.
And if the Empire was on top and the world was at peace, well, nobody would need any weapons.
That would make sense.
So he's trying to drag the fighting out as long as he can. And that's no good for anybody.
I won't let him get away with it.
Yeah.
Alexei wasn't in the control room.
You picked up bad intel, old man.
I never expected that Alexei would use something this big as a pawn. And he took such good care of her.
Did he really take care of her?
What's a captain without a ship, huh?
It took years to put it all together.
Building something like this couldn't be easy.
Sacrificing it means he must be very serious.
What is this Autophagos you mentioned earlier?
In the past, it was called the Great Cataclysm.
Huh? And you think that Lady Estellise might bring that cataclysm about again? How?
The Autophagos is caused by a deepening imbalance in the air. There was already an imbalance because of the air consumed to operate Blastia. And Distell's power consumes many times the air that Blastia do.
That means that if Alexei continues to use Lady Estellise's power...
We'll be in the same situation that caused the Autophagos before.
But how? Why does Lady Estellise have that power at all?
We don't have time to stand around and talk about that, do we? We can talk about Estelle's power, the power of the Children of the Full Moon as we go.
Right.
The Children of the Full Moon? The Autophagos? What is Lady Estellise's power?
That was a close call.
I did not want to watch the lower quarter get destroyed right in front of me.
We owe your friend a debt of thanks.
He's not too subtle, though. He went ahead with his knights and all of us still in here.
Flynn would do just about anything to defend the capital, and he'd use his own body to shield everyone else. That's his thing.
Kid's got more nerve than I gave him credit for.
What'd you expect? He's Yuri's friend. Estelle said something just before her power was fully activated, didn't she? What do you think she was trying to say?
Sorry, old Raven didn't catch it.
Yuri?
Baul.
Will Baul's wounds heal quickly?
My, is that concern I hear in your voice?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've been asking too much of him, really.
It will take some time, but he should recover. He's quite a fighter, you know.
Oh, good.
So don't worry, okay, Rita?
All right, Hey! I'm the one giving out the sympathy here.
You really must learn to control that temper.
It's total chaos and panic no matter where you look.
People were just living normally, and then the capital winds up like this all of a sudden. Heracles Cannon even changed the land itself.
Not really a situation where you can just tell people to calm down.
Nobody's gonna accept his rule with this mess going on. Alexei, what the hell are you thinking?
Rule by terror, maybe?
Whether he can control the people or not, the world is headed for a crisis if this keeps up.
But just try telling people about the air and the catastrophe it'll cause. They won't understand. We're the only ones who know, so that means it's up to us.
This is gonna be rough. What is it, Raven?
There a problem, Patty?
You were the one groaning, Carol.
I feel kind of weird. Like there's a pressure on my chest.
Yeah, I feel the same thing.
What do you know? I'm right there with you.
It may be some light air sickness. The amount of air in the world is growing. It's easier to affect you. Many people may soon begin to feel it.
I hadn't thought of that. It's gonna get tougher. Just to get by, huh?
So, we're coming up on the end then.
Carol, just what sort of place is the Blade Drifts of Zofair?
Well, I've never been there myself, but I've heard the entire place is covered in a sheet of ice. Nan told me this was the best season for hunting monsters there, because the ice is thickest. The monsters there sound pretty tough, too.
Covered in a sheet of ice, huh? I'm getting the chills just hearing about it.
Does anyone have a warm cloak I can borrow?
Will it be a problem that we haven't made any special preparations?
No matter how cold it is, it'll be better than the heat of the sands of Kogor, right?
I don't know about better, but we're running out of time. We'll have to go in as we are.
It'll be fine, as long as none of us catches a cold.
Rago's gone, the new magistrate's here. Nor Harbor's so much better. It's not fair.
Yeah, I'm sure Estelle would love to see this.
We better hurry up and rescue her then, and bring her back here with us.
She did make a promise to Polly, too.
And breaking that promise would go against the laws of brave Vesperia.
Punish the unjust. Yeah. We'll just have to come back once we've saved Estelle.
If Emmede Hill is blocked off, none of the people stuck in the capital will be able to escape.
Yeah, you're right. It's not like they can fly.
If the air in the skies above the capital keeps increasing, all living things will be in danger.
And if we let that happen, we won't be able to go near the capital ourselves.
All the more reason to stop talking and start moving.
Carol, why'd you have to go and be a hero?
Seriously, when is that kid gonna learn to be a good boy and act his age?
I've never seen him show courage like that. I swear I lost a year off my life just watching him.
Well, we almost lost our entire lives, so we owe him one.
But that was just crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I know. We have to watch him and make sure he doesn't do anything crazy again.
Yeah, I'm through losing precious years of my life to that boy's antics.
They're actually agreeing for once.
We all share a pride in what Carol did for us, each in our own way.
It just comes a little easier for some of us.
If we want news of the situation in the capital, wouldn't going to Halur be the safest bet?
Good call. Not only do they have a barrier, we can rest while we're there.
Well, some shut-eye sounds good to me.
Well, if that's that, then let's get moving. I'm damn near frozen to the bone as it is.
Sure you're all right after your little one-man crusade?
Huh? I guess. I mean, I feel okay for now.
How unlike you to worry about Carol, Rita.
It's not that I'm worried about him,
We can't show up with injuries when we're going to rescue a princess who has to heal everybody.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
If you say so.
It's actually nice to be back. It all started with trying to recover that Aquablastia. Couldn't have guessed then we'd be heading out on a trip that spanned the globe. Don't worry, Rapide. I'm the same guy now that I was then. It isn't me. It's the situation that's changed. Yeah. It's just a new set of circumstances.
You've been looking all around for a while now. You looking out for somebody?
What? No.
There's no point trying to hide it. Your eyes have been wandering all over the place.
All right, you got me. With all the people from the capital, I haven't seen anybody from the lower quarter.
You're concerned for them, aren't you? That's nothing to be ashamed of.
I just figured we've got enough to worry about as it is.
Hey.
What's up, old man?
I want to hear what you're planning. You know, about Estelle. We're all floating in the same boat, right? Care to share?
I'm not sure I won't lose my nerve if I start talking about it now. You're just gonna have to bear with me till the time comes.
You're prepared to do what's necessary, but you haven't given up hope.
That about sums it up.
I guess that's your style. But don't try to take it all on by yourself, all right?
It's weird hearing kind words from you, Raven.
True enough.
The capital's like this, and Estelle's power's been released. The world might be done for.
Oh, the gloom! Rita, darling, how can you be so gloomy?
Okay, first, never call me darling. Second, excuse me for not being as optimistic as you.
Hey now, old Raven's not without his own worries.
Oh, really?
Sure, but what's the point of getting all down? We're doing all we can to make this work out, right? You just gotta believe in yourself. Wait, that's basically a Rita trademark, ain't it?
Okay, fine, you're right. Oh, how could I let you outsmart me?
There now, there's hope for the world yet. As long as our little genius doesn't lose that attitude.
I wonder if the world will benefit if Prince Yoder becomes emperor.
Who knows?
What kind of weak answer is that? I thought you'd be at least a little optimistic.
Well, he'll have Flynn around. That should help things a little.
But only a little?
I'm not so wide-eyed and innocent to think that major change is going to happen overnight.
That sounds like you, all right.
A double sigh?
Knock it off.
We have to make up our minds about Estelle. From what people who fled from the capital said, it's probably already too late.
Stop it, don't say that.
I think Yuri has decided where he stands already.
How would you know that?
You mean, the reason he tried to go alone was...
We have to make up our minds too.
I know what we have to do, but still.
Flynn entrusted Estelle to you, right?
Yeah.
He's taken on his own share of burdens, so we can focus on rescuing Estelle. Still, it must be hard for you.
I'll carry his resolve with me.
Good. I'm sure we can save Estelle then.
Knights are somewhat useful, I guess.
Somewhat? Careful, you'll make Flynn cry.
Well, it's a pretty big compliment coming from Rita.
I'd say they're kicking a lot of butt out there.
Yeah, they're risking their lives to do their duty. Let's enter the capital while we can.
Right. We'll save Estelle and defeat Alexei. Their fight will not be in vain.
Aye, indeed.
Come on.
You think he could stand to be a little less cold and prickly all the time? I mean, I know he's worried about the lower quarter, and we all want to wring Alexei's neck, but still.
Oh, I'd say it's all right from time to time.
What's all right about it?
The fact that he acts like this, knowing the tension it causes, is a sign that he's softened. The old Yuri would never have let us see that he was upset about something.
It's hard to stay emotional when your friends analyze you like you weren't even there.
Isn't this great? Now everyone in the lower quarter is safe.
Yeah. Now all that's left is crushing Alexei and saving Estelle.
You must be so proud that your men are finally doing some actual work.
I've tried to tell you, I don't have any men.
There was a real sparkle in their eyes when they were looking at you, old man.
How can someone respected by so many be so cold to his friends?
All right, Raven's starting to think he's had about enough of these shenanigans.
So now we've got the gang back together.
I'm so glad to be with you all again.
Same here.
Likewise.
You must take care not to strain yourself.
Remember, there's a limit to what we can do.
You know, one step at a time.
Huh? What's up?
I think Rapide just welcomed me back.
No, Rapide's already off over there.
Should have seen that coming.
It looks like Baol is back to his old self.
There's plenty of air for him to absorb. He seems to have used it to heal his wounds.
For all the trouble Alexei's caused, he's helping us out in some unexpected ways.
That's not gonna get him off the hook, though.
He can go wherever he likes. With Baul to help us, there's no place we can't follow.
When someone as strong as Pharaoh tells you not to go messing with Zauda, it makes you wonder.
I wish he'd use regular words when he talked, though.
Definitely. If it's really all that dangerous, you'd think he'd want to make himself clear.
Maybe it was something Pharaoh had difficulty expressing in his own way. He did take the time to warn us. That shows at least some concern for our well-being, right?
You mean that maybe he's warmed up to us a bit?
Yes.
Looking at Flynn, I can say, there's a knight captain. But it's really hard to picture Raven in charge of a bunch of knights.
I don't think it's possible until he gets rid of that shady aura he carries around.
It could be that he's only concealing his knightly dignity to complete his disguise as Raven.
I don't know if he and Dignity have even been in the same room together.
Captain Schwan was a man of grace and honor. His skills were renowned, which kept him on constant secret missions. Every knight knew his name, and nearly everyone envied his ability to carry out his duties with poise.
Huh? Is that true?
And while he was scrupulous, he knew how to care for those under him, so he always had their trust.
After seeing 3 of them, I can see he was well liked.
The more I hear about him, the further he seems from that old man.
That's why I'm telling you, I'm not Schwan.
When did he get here?
Listen to yourselves, carrying on as though nobody's around.
But sometimes you do say things that Captain Schwan would. You continue to carry his quality, however quietly.
Knock that off, would you?
Raven?
What you need, lad?
I know this is a subject you would like to avoid, but I want to ask you something as a knight.
Why would Schwan obey Alexei's orders? Is it?
I cannot believe Captain Schwan would be so blind as to miss the nefariousness of Alexei's deeds.
You put too much stock into Schwan. His head was as empty as a tin soldier's. The Schwan that would fulfill his duty like a puppet died a decade ago.
That would not change, even if he knew what he does now?
Well, I don't think he would have seen a blasty of that size coming. But he still might have followed Alexei to the last. But you never can know, can you?
Is the reason you wish to settle things now because you have chosen to live as Raven?
There are some folks who took this old man seriously. So I guess I can't die just yet. But if I'm gonna live on, then I've got to make up for what Schwan did.
So a fortuitous encounter changed you.
That's putting it a bit dramatically.
Won't we run into another pile of trouble when the knights catch up and you're with us? I won't be laughing if we mess things up before we can deal with Alexei.
That young woman knight will be difficult. What will you do about her?
She's put me on too high a pedestal. I believe that a line can be drawn between good and evil in this world.
And she thinks that you're the one who can draw that line.
But reality is not so simple.
Right. I hope she realizes that soon. I have a feeling she will.
Sounds to me like she's got blinders on.
Yeah, I think Applehead will catch on faster.
Yuri, you really shouldn't call him that. Witcher is an exceptional mage who represents the future hopes of Aspio.
Him?
Hadn't you heard?
I guess I just wasn't interested. Now that I think of it, I think he may have been more on the ball than the others.
Even after our request for assistance expired, he continued to aid myself and other knights. He is earnest and dedicated.
You care about your crew, Flynn. I'm sure you're a top-rate captain.
It seems Yoder understands your feelings, Flynn.
If His Highness has got your back, you've got no choice but to charge forward.
Yes, I shall not disappoint him.
I didn't think he'd order you to go with us and stop Alexei. That little prince? I thought he was just a softie. But he's got sharp eyes.
Idealism alone won't get you very far. But if he can make clever moves like that, he'll be a fine emperor.
We'd all be in trouble if he couldn't.
An eye for the big picture, the ability to use the right people, and noble intentions. A full package like that is pretty rare.
Don't worry. I have faith in Yoder.
Anyway, Yoder told us to take you with us, so I hope you're ready for back-breaking work.
Of course. I shall not waste His Highness's favor.
Good. Then let's go.
I'd like to know one thing before we begin this battle. Just how strong is this Commandant?
I heard he earned his knighthood when he won a royal tournament during the previous emperor's reign.
I got to cross swords with him once, and I didn't last more than 3 minutes.
His title is more than mere decoration. His skill puts him well above his fellow knights.
He's the strongest among them, huh?
And don't forget, he's surrounded by his royal guard.
None of this sounds very promising.
Hey, we've got De Nomos, don't we?
Besides, we've been through all kinds of stuff together on this journey.
Yeah, we're tighter than any kind of guard, royal or not.
All right, so say we handle the royal guard. It's still a coin toss in the end.
I guess we'll never be too prepared when it comes to facing Alexei.
Any error will likely cost lives.
Right. We'll have to give it everything we've got.
So Pharaoh's been absorbing air too. Is he trying to restabilize it?
We owe him one for keeping the fight up this long.
No, I don't think that's it. My guess is he's taking in all that air to disable Zaude's power source.
That way he'll be able to mess with Alexei's plans, right?
Right. Right, Judith?
Who? Me? What was the question?
Never mind.
It'll be easy if we can just get inside. We'll stop everything in one shot.
Wish it were that easy, kid, but we'll be up to our ears in traps and royal guards.
Gotta admire his confidence.
Do you really mean that?
Pharaoh, please be okay.
We've seen plenty of Blastia so far, but this one's in a different class altogether.
If this was made at the end of the Garaios civilization, it may contain clues to all their technology.
Chances are pretty good, if the building we saw in that relief in Murzo is actually Zaude.
So is there a connection between the Cataclysm and the Autophagos?
If it does come from the end of the Garaios civilization, maybe it can turn back the Autophagos.
I wonder if that's why they carved the relief. It all adds up, but I keep going back to Pharaoh's words.
About disturbing Zaude? Thinking about it isn't likely to get us anywhere. We just have to go on.
Alexei, your transgressions against Lady Estellise and Captain Schwan shall not go unpunished. But I cannot believe your vision was entirely lies. Before we battle, I want to know why this happened.
If you keep making a face like that, you'll scare away all the fish.
Forgive me. Thinking of the upcoming fight against Alexei makes me tense.
I know how you feel. I've got a score to settle with Alexei myself.
We're all alike on that point.
But Alexei isn't around at the moment, so relax and have yourself a skewer or two.
Good idea.
What do you say, Flynn? My skewers can't be beat.
I shall relish eating them.
Jaeger, huh?
You and he were in the same position, but took entirely different paths in life.
Yeah, one of us stayed with the Knights, and the other became a guild chief. But both of us ended up spineless men that did whatever we were told. I was only with the Don because I was ordered to be there.
Is that true?
I was sent in undercover to spy on the Union. The Don caught on, of course, but he let the whole thing slide.
He was like, if you're after my head, then try me anytime.
Yeah, Patty, that sums it up nicely. There's no hiding from you.
And your pride kept you beholden to the Union as well.
Exactly. I was leading a double life. I'm a mess of a man, I'll say.
Perhaps if Jaeger met up with the Dawn, his course might have changed as well.
With all the henchmen he's got, why would Jaeger come alone?
Well, he did have his two lady friends with him.
Though they didn't attack us.
Who knows? Maybe he thought dying would be the easiest way to solve his problems.
What do you mean?
I'm not too sure myself. Guess there's no looking back now.
We're taking Alexei down. It's that simple.
We can't let the world become any more chaotic than it already is.
It's up to us to stop him.
Everything we've done is for this moment.
Every one of us is ready for whatever may happen. Let's do this!
That reminds me. You said something about finding a treasure earlier. What was it?
It's the Maris Stella. Having it in my hands really hoists my honor among pirates.
Whose honor? Is it really that special? That little thing?
It's not only small. If I have an itch on my head, I can use it to scratch it.
You can?
And if I polish it enough, I can use it as a mirror and find any food stuck on my face.
That too?
And if I whirl it around just so, it becomes a deadly weapon.
And even that? Wait, what am I saying? Why do I always get caught up in your spell, Patty?
Merely one of the powers of this symbol.
Really?
You'll fall for anything, won't you?